Carl,
James,
thank you for coming over to visit me.
thanks for having me.
No, I really appreciate you coming over. So we've known each other for 20 years now, pretty much. I was having a rummage around in the archive and I found, I don't know if you've got a copy of this, but this is the first flyer that me and you feature on. I'll put it up on the screen for you to look at as well, everybody. So
Yeah, I've got a copy of this
yeah,
one.
yeah.
Yeah, it's a great flyer.
I think that was a Trail Trash party in Bradford in 2005.
Yeah,
So yeah, 20 years ago.
yeah.
And I think that's the first
Great
time
memories.
our
a good
paths
party.
crossed, isn't it? Yeah. Yeah. I think it was because we were doing Trailer Trash back then, and he said, "Oh, I've got this guy who's really good. This guy called Carl. Is he going to come and DJ?" I'm like, "Yeah, go on then, get him on."
You know what's really funny about that?
Go on.
Is that Annie had never seen me DJ.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
She had a lot of faith in you, though.
Yeah, she
Yeah.
liked the tunes that I recommended her.
Okay.
That was it.
So you met Annie through Eastern Bloc?
Yeah.
Okay. So for those that don't know, Eastern Bloc's a legendary record shop in Manchester.
Yeah.
So how did you end up working at Eastern Bloc then?
I had a residency in Manchester, a drum and bass residency.
Drum and bass, yeah.
And I made good friends with the guy who ran the drum and bass section.
Yeah.
And when he left, I was the second person he asked.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. And who was the guy who was running the drum and bass section?
Chris Clapperton, Fat Boy.
Okay.
Yeah.
And did Marcus Intellect used to work there as well downstairs?
He did,
For
yeah.
a little while,
he did.
didn't
That was, he worked there before Chris.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. So that was in the old Eastern Bloc when they had the 3 or 4 rooms, wasn't it? They had the two.
Yeah, the two fronts. When I went there, just on one side, but
Yeah.
that bit on Oldham Street, like the big shop,
Yeah.
and then the basement.
I remember we used to go downstairs into the drum and bass down there.
Yeah.
We used to go, me and Martin used to go, we used to be a nuisance to them guys, bless them. They must have hated us. We'd be there at 9 o'clock and everyone would rock up to open the shop and they'd be like, go and get us a coffee. Go and get us, they wanted us to bugger off basically. So we'd go and get them a coffee and be like, here's your coffee.
Yeah.
And we'd just be a nuisance, because we just wanted, we usually had a gig that, we'd go on a Friday or a Saturday and we'd have a gig that night. So we'd have to get the tunes. There used to be loads of famous people passing through all the time, like well-known DJs.
Yeah.
So we'd see, like, look, you never know who you might get. The Americans might be in town, or
Yeah.
Chemical Brothers used to go in quite a bit. You'd see them quite a bit, and Justin Robertson. And
Yeah.
back in them days, they were like heroes to us. They were like, well, still are, you know what I mean? But
Yeah.
we were just like, wow. So DJing wise, how did you actually get into it then? What's your path in?
So a friend of mine was selling some decks,
Yeah.
and I just thought I'd have a go. Basically, and I bought them.
Yeah.
And he lent me his records. Like, he lent me 100 records, and technically I could do it within a couple of days.
Yeah.
Like the beat matching side of things.
Yeah.
And when I went to university, there wasn't really any DJs.
Right.
In the university, I went to Durham.
Oh, to Durham, okay.
Yeah. So I just started getting loads of gigs. Basically, it's not like these days where the DJs are like everywhere.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
It
mean,
wasn't.
there was like
Yeah.
maybe 6 DJs in Durham.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
So you were playing at the student union type place, or just around Durham?
Yeah, student union and the local clubs. And yeah, originally I started buying house music and then started buying techno.
Yeah.
And ended up running a big night in Durham and with a drum and bass producer called John B.
Oh, John B. Yeah, I've got some of
Yeah.
his records. Yeah.
So we ran a night for 3 years, and it was the biggest drum and bass night in the Northeast. And then I got this. You got Visions, brilliant. Yeah, so
It's a good record. Yeah.
yeah. One
Very
of
good
our we did the release party for that in Durham.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. And then from the night in Durham, one of the guys that I DJ with in Durham got a residency at this night in Manchester, and he brought the guys who did that promotion
Yeah.
to Durham to come to our night,
Okay.
and they saw the night and us play, and they were like, we play our night, and that's how I got the residency in Manchester.
Wow. And that's how it used to be back in those days, isn't it? I
Yeah.
remember it myself. It was like, yeah, we you make connections that way.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things I miss about the old days. You know what I mean? Not everything, because I was talking about this with Kate on the previous podcast, where I don't think rose-coloured spectacles are a particularly good look for people of our age, but I
Yeah.
do think there are some differences. Some things that are better and some things that are worse. But
Yeah.
what I do miss is that cross-promotional stuff going on.
Yeah.
DJs become a lot more solitary now in my experience. As in, like in the old days, you used to look through people's record boxes and you'd talk labels and you'd talk artists and things, which I know you can still do, but mainly online now. Obviously, no one's going to want to look for your memory stick. In my case, kind of look at what your files are.
Hey, some people do.
Digging through a record box is a lot more
better,
fun,
isn't
isn't it? More
Yeah.
social,
Yeah.
and it's more interesting. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, that's definitely changed over the years, and promotion has changed. Obviously, loads of things have changed about promotion, haven't they?
It has changed a lot. I feel these days there's definitely less gatekeeping.
Okay, yeah.
And at the same time, there's a different way that people communicate, isn't it? So, which I'm not really adjusted to be honest.
Okay.
Yeah, but I find the general scenes are more open-hearted. I feel.
Okay.
I mean, that might just be the fact that maybe I am a bit more open-hearted as well. Maybe that's a reflection of my, who I am.
Yeah.
But,
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. As you get older, I suppose things change, don't they?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I do miss that side of things a little bit, the socialising side of things.
I miss the spontaneity.
Yeah.
And you don't really have nights. There's no nights that are every week, are there, these days? That's the thing that's sort of stopped.
Yeah.
So the culture's changed in that respect.
Totally, yeah.
And people want like bigger events less often. And that plays into a different type of night.
Yeah. I think festivals have got some bearing on that.
It's the festival style, which I can take or leave, to be honest. I like a good night with some good DJs. Just
festivals have kind of replaced super clubs in many ways. I know we probably never went to super clubs. I'm not a super clubs kind of person.
I did.
Okay, fair enough.
I did go to some. I used to go to Cream.
Okay.
That was like one of the first clubs I went to.
Okay.
That was a super club.
Yeah, I suppose it was one of the first ones, wasn't it?
Yeah.
But I think people save up now, and they do a couple of festivals a year. They have a big blowout, and then the rest of the time they don't go out as often. There's financial issues. Obviously, people don't want to spend the huge amount of money that it costs to go out every week. But you're right. Back in the old days, we used to go out every week. I used to go out every week, 2 or 3 times a week.
Yeah, I think the kids still do, but at the underground nightclubs in Manchester, it's not on a Friday. It's not the same night every Friday.
So it's the same club, but different promotions coming in to do different kinds of music.
That's the difference. On like on the youth side of things, places like the White Hotel, and Hidden, things like that. It's not like they don't have a core. They do have a core promotion team, but it varies each week.
And I think that has to happen because you can't keep going back to the same well over and over again for the same people. You need to mix it up, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. I suppose that's quite healthy. Mixing the scene up is quite a healthy thing, I suppose.
Yeah, it's good.
But yeah, I think going out, maybe it's just my age now, but yeah, I don't go out very often nowadays, but not often enough. I'm a bit of a home bird, so I do like to stay at home. I'm the worst person for that, really, I suppose. I know you're always asking me to come to your thing at the Line. I will get there. So you're doing the Line quite regularly now, aren't you? Golden Lion.
Well, again, it's quarterly. And me and Mark Turner, who's one of the guys I work with at the shop.
Yeah.
And he was resident of the Orbit.
He was.
He did the back room and he played the main room a lot.
Yeah.
And it was at the last beat header I played, actually.
Yeah.
T played a house set.
Okay.
For like 3 hours, and it was probably the top 5 house sets I've seen in the last 10 years.
Yeah, good DJ.
And that planted a seed in me that I want to do a house night with him.
Okay.
Or play around house at least.
Yeah.
And that's where the sort of impetus came for.
So that's the Line thing is a house thing, yeah.
Yeah. Playing around house music, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, because I know you've got a techno string to your bow as well, haven't you?
Yeah.
Is that what you say your favourite kind of music, or I know it's hard to pick a favourite? But
I don't really these days. I mean, I'm really into house at the moment, but I struggle to find a bit of techno, to be honest. But I've got more into the electro side of things recently.
Okay,
so it's just ebbs and flows.
Electro's always there, isn't it? You can always go back to electro, and it's always got something to offer you.
Yeah.
That's my experience here. I've got loads of old 80s electro up there, that's the only electro I've got. But it's just the genre that just keeps ticking along there. And it's always, you've got all the obviously Underground Resistance, that kind of electro kind of stuff, isn't it, as well?
Yeah.
I know
I'm a sucker for any Drexciya project.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
It's like I struggle not to put them in my record box.
I
can't have like 20 Drexciya records or associated projects, which it just happens. It's just like, I've got to take it,
But it's hard to overlook stuff when it's that good, though. You'd be daft to sort of like leave it at home. Now I'm not going to play any of these really good records. You know what I mean? And you've got
the ones that I'm really feeling today
to replace them. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, and that's the thing, isn't it? So yeah, techno is. It's a whole other conversation, isn't it? What's happened to techno? Because
it's interesting.
It's the big room stuff that you see on
a
lot of YouTube videos and you see on Beatport. It's just not. I don't think it's proper techno in that sense.
I mean, it's a different thing. I like the rhythms to change.
Yeah.
And that doesn't happen as much at those sort of things.
It's just get the kick drum down, put a bit of reverb on it so it sounds like it's in a big room, and then that's done, and then move on to the next bit. But you're right, the beats are
it's the rhythms in there. I mean, that's why the Detroit techno is my favourite, because the rhythms are so good.
And it's raw as well. It's got a rawness to it. It's not too polished.
Yeah. I mean, some of the big room stuff is like super polished, isn't it? But
yeah.
I mean, I don't mind really polished techno. I'm just a rhythms man.
You're just a rhythms man, fair enough.
Yeah. So, if something's really polished and the rhythms are really good, I'm playing it. You know what I mean?
I just remember techno as being like, especially because I used to go to the Orbit a bit myself and a few other places like that, that playing that kind of stuff back in the sort of mid to late 90s. But every record sounded different, and every record had a different kind of pressure to the room, if that makes sense. So different sonics and sound design was different, and each record stood out in its own way, and the skillful techno DJ would be able to manipulate the sonics of each record in a really good order, so that they could really control the room really well. And it sounds like really basic DJing 101, control the room, right? Fair enough, obvious thing to say, but the records in the right hands, those techno records were, they literally changed the pressure in the room. You could feel that the bass would be a lot lower on certain records, a bit higher up, and it was a real skillful thing, to do. And I'm not going to lie, I don't think I was ever that good at doing that, but there were certain people out there who I used to hear, I'd be like, yeah, you've absolutely nailed it,
Yeah.
And now a lot of technos, because it sounds similar. I'm talking about the commercial, the more the business techno as it's referred to. I'm talking about that kind of stuff. That kind of stuff is just pretty easy to mix, really. It doesn't really give you that option of changing it up too much. It's just a kick, dum, 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 for however long. But not enough variance. So if you're a beats man, you'll get bored pretty quickly of the same beat on pretty much every record.
Well,
in my experience.
I mean, I love to dance.
Yeah.
And, as I've got a bit older, I can sort of choose to dance a bit more now.
Yeah.
Like I'm going to make an effort to dance. Before I couldn't. Like I was either dancing or I wasn't.
Yeah.
But juxta to that, I find it difficult if I'm not feeling the rhythm.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, it's a foundational thing, isn't it? Without that, you've got not a lot going on, really.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So your mix today, then we've got. I'll chuck some B-roll up because we've got a very interesting DJ setup here coming that you brought over with you. Mm-hmm. Do you want to talk a little bit about what you've got?
Yeah. So a friend of mine has lent me his Bozak 10CMA, which is a direct circuit mixer. The sound's beautiful.
Yeah.
And on the master insert, there's a dope reel isolator, and this isolator has a lovely colour to it.
Okay.
It's quite the beast. It really
it's a big flight case. Well, looking forward to carrying it up the stairs.
Yeah, and I brought my decks with me because I have where pitch plus or minus 16. I've got reverse mods on my decks as well.
Okay, yeah.
Which I don't use that often, but
modified techniques.
It's a nice thing to have. So
wow. Okay.
Yeah.
So we're going to be hearing some techno or some house or what we got.
Well, I've got a mixture of stuff actually.
Okay.
I was because I got this Night of the Lion on Friday. In my head, I was thinking I'm mostly picking house, and maybe I have actually, but
okay.
I've definitely brought more stuff, different stuff than I originally thought that I would.
Right.
Just listening to stuff over the last couple of days.
Yeah. So your approach is just bring a box of records and just jam it, or and just see where it takes you.
That's how I do it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So do you want to talk about your next night as well before we go? So when's your next Lion gig? Is it say it's Friday?
Yeah, Friday the 20th.
Okay. So I don't know when this video is going to go out. It might go out before then or after then, but we'll mention it anyway.
Yeah.
So do you have any socials or anything you want to talk about, or any?
I don't. I'm not that organised actually. My Instagram is Karl Roscoe 7.
Okay.
I'll put
a link in there.
Nice one.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. And the night after the one in March is on the 12th of June.
Oh yeah, we'll definitely be out before then.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, and that's at the Golden Lion.
That's at the Golden Lion.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff going off down there. It's popping off down there
every week.
Has been for a few years, hasn't it? There's some pretty amazing stuff going on down there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I saw a really good DJ on Friday actually. It was Gig's birthday, and this Italian guy who's a good pal of ours, and Arturo Capone, a really lovely sort of kitsch style to his DJing, really passionate, maintained. He had really high tension,
Yeah.
but was able to maintain his tension
Right,
like
that's hard to do.
magnificently.
Yeah.
So, and I always love a DJ that can do that.
Yeah.
So yeah, and you know, he played all sorts. A lot of the Italian style electronic music.
Yeah.
But good mix of stuff. He played a Scrava de Joe, actually. You know, the Joe Clausel thing.
Okay, yeah.
Joe Clausel. I think it's that Joe Clausel and Kerry Chandler. But yeah, he played it really well. He played. What did he play after? Oh, he had this. He had this version of Throw, Paperclip People.
Okay.
Throw.
Yeah.
But it was the same, but it was different. It was weird. I couldn't really work out. I was like, is this Throw? But the programming of it was identical, but it sounded a bit different anyway. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Might be a cover version or something.
It was a cover version. Yeah.
The Italians were famous for it in the
good.
90s. I've got loads of records in here that are Italian covers of, I mean, they were cheeky in the 90s, just take what they wanted.
Yeah.
Big sample-tastic stuff that's just made out of other people's records. Interesting, right? Okay. Right, cool. Okay, we'll call it a day on that. It's a short one, but yeah, we'll call it a day on that. We're going to, we'll get your mix up.
Nice one, James.
Thanks for coming over, man.
Thank you.